Soraya Ali, Global Media Manager for the Middle East and North Africa and Save the Children, thank you for being with us. Can you describe the humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip right now?
The situation in Gaza right now is absolutely dire, and it continues to get worse. We're talking about one child killed every 13 minutes. So people who are alive are rationing food, water, hospitals are running out of fuel. So we absolutely need all parties to agree to a ceasefire.
And what about the challenges then that the workers from Save the Children, that they are facing? Tell us a little bit about that.
So our staff on the ground in Gaza are absolutely petrified. Just like ordinary civilians, they've had to flee their homes, they've had to evacuate. We know that 1.4 million people are currently displaced in Gaza. We have limited contact with them, of course, because of the electricity situation. So whenever we can get in contact with them, we just try to make sure that they're alive. And we know every single one of them has been impacted by this. Every single one of them has lost either a family member or a friend. So the situation is truly dire.
And what kind of consequences does this war have for the children in the Gaza Strip? Also, you're saying that a humanitarian ceasefire is absolutely dire right now, but nothing in the political agenda seems to go that way right now. So what will the consequences be if that doesn't happen?
So this will undoubtedly lead to long-term consequences for the children of Gaza. You know, all of our reporting before this has shown that children who are impacted by violence in this way have long-term consequences and impacts. It impacts their mental health. You know, they're more likely to get things like depression, anxiety. We can only imagine what it must feel like for a child right now living in that situation where they're in a room, they're not sure if they're going to survive unless a ceasefire is agreed and unless all parties agree to adhere to international humanitarian law. So they absolutely need to protect safe spaces and civilian infrastructure like schools and hospitals where children are currently sheltering.
What can you then, from Save the Children, what can you do while waiting for the ceasefire?
So right now, Save the Children has 2 trucks at the Rafah border crossing in Egypt. And like many other humanitarian organizations, we're waiting and hoping to get in and get that critical aid to people who need it most, which undoubtedly is vulnerable children. But I think nobody can be expected to, deliver aid or administer aid under these circumstances if there's a threat to life and if there's constant bombardment. So first and foremost, we need a ceasefire and we need to be able to get that aid in as quickly as possible and as safely as possible.